Is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for Thawwab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our program Learn Arabic. We discussed before in the last episodes how can we write and pronounce the alphabets Jim, Ha. Today we will discuss more about Kha. And Kha probably could be also described as an emphatic sound. It's a very distinctive alphabet in Arabic language that probably can be found in German, Russian, and also in a lot of Semitic languages like Persian, Hebrew, Hindi, something like that. I'm joined today with my dear guests, Osama from Egypt, Muhammad from Nigeria, Muhammad from England, and Khaled from Guinea. Welcome to all of you. I think that Muhammad, in the last episode, you told me that you probably have such sound. You do have in Urdu Ha, but also you also have Jim,
and
also you have Kha. Here's the question that I would like to ask you. Is Kha in Arabic similar even in the writing in Urdu?
I think in Jim, you have another extra letter which is J, which have three dots in the middle instead of one.
Oh, really?
So sometimes when I see Arabic written with three, I write as a J. So if it's like church, I will say church because it comes with J.
Okay.
So it's
So sometimes you use dots, sometimes you use three dots.
Yeah, we use three dots. So that's pronounced as J. Same with pay as well. We like when you say Pakistan, we say Pakistan. But we use pay, so we have three dots underneath, just like ba. We have one, we have three. So
Is there a great difference between just one dot and three dots when it comes in defining the?
Yeah, it's changed with different pronunciation. Like Pakistan in Arabic and Urdu is Pakistan. We use two dots, make a different sound. Same with in case of chair as well. We say recite like church. We don't say church or any different name.
I see.
So that's the difference. And Kha has exactly same, Ha is exactly same, Jim is same, Ba, Ta, Tha, Alif, they're all the same. So,
even in the writing system.
Yeah, even in the writing. Even when you start with the middle and middle. Well, I've seen now in Arabic, as you show me, like Ha, how's Ha is, Kha is exactly same. And Urdu only have 5 extra letters in Arabic, which make it easier, like Gaf, Te, Je, Be, and Re.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Can you see that, Osama, when it comes to comparison, for example, between Arabic and Urdu? Just in one alphabet, we can discover a lot. Yeah. And I think that is also, we mentioned before that when we pronounce and produce the sound Kha, here that, as I said before, is described as a uvular sound. So that means... One
thing I would like to underline is the translation, which can come close to Arabic, but it will not exactly same as Arabic. Even though we have 5 extra letters, and all letters are same as Arabic, which is excluding the 5 which is extra. Even though translation cannot be same as Arabic.
Yep.
I just like to underline that point.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I think when it comes to the story of translations, here Osama can tell us something here.
Yeah.
Can you see, Osama, here that it's... I think, Muhammad, when it comes to translation, you are translating also from the right side to the left side.
Yeah.
I mean, in the writing
it's
system.
Exactly same. The pattern of writing, the reading, and just is the only difference is the extra 5 letters.
This is between English and Arabic, you mean?
It's in Urdu and Arabic.
Urdu and Arabic, yeah.
The patterns from right to left, date, everything, it's exactly the same. The way you write the date, that's how Urdu write date as well.
Yeah, but Ibn Ahmad, concerning the sound Kha, and it exists in English, or as we have said, in some Semitic languages.
Right.
Okay? And it exists in Russian and in German.
Right.
But there is some differences. Yeah, we know that there are some differences between these two sounds or these two alphabets. But the point here is that when this sound exists in another language, it makes it easy to pronounce it, and that is the issue that we are speaking about, how to pronounce. So the existence of the sound in other languages makes it easy to you to learn it in the Arabic, and that is what we want. We do exist, yeah, there are differences, but this is not our issue about the differences. We are about, we're speaking about, is it easy for you to make the sound in Arabic? Okay, that's the issue, I think.
Right.
My point.
And that's actually, Sam, pushes... Yes, Mohammed, you
The
have a
other
comment.
point is, even though you have the same letters, everything same to Arabic, it's true the Arabic language is so difficult to translate that you cannot translate word to word exactly the same thing.
Right,
That's the
right.
problem.
I think that's what Osama here you said very important to note, which is some letters can be found in Arabic, and it's the same that probably can be found in English. You can find a lot of similar alphabets and letters that can be found in both sides. Does that mean that in some day we can find a universal language? I know that Chomsky actually did explain something like that. Probably talked more about that in a lot of his lectures about universal theories of grammar. And I know that you are very interested in the theories of translation or something like that. But here's my point: can we find, in some day in the future, a kind of universal rules of language that all the people in the world can speak? In other words, yeah, Muhammad.
I think you can do with English or other language, but you cannot do with Arabic.
In Arabic.
Arabic it's not possible because the translation, the meaning, the words is so different.
Yeah,
it
that's
cannot match up.
Yes, I agree with my colleague here, and I think, Ahmed, that the Arabic language is a very, very difficult language, semantically, syntactically, even culturally. Okay.
Right.
There are many, many differences in the Arabic language. It makes it so difficult. I do not want to make it so difficult, but every language, by practice and by making effort, it will be easy.
Right.
But I'm speaking about the complexity that do abound in the in the Arabic language.
Right.
Someone, Ahmed, has told me that the Arabic language and even the meanings in the Arabic language, we can liken it like a bottle of water. Okay.
Really? Well, I like that
Any
example.
other meanings, Ahmed, or words, or lexemes? We may say in linguistics lexemes. It means lexemes, words or vocabulary. I like a cup, a small cup.
Okay.
And it is impossible to you to pour or to put the contents of this bottle in this small cup. It is impossible to do that.
Right.
That is, it is impossible to convey the whole meanings in an Arabic sentence into another language. And I'm not overstating or exaggerating the importance of the Arabic language, but I do believe that this is the language that Allah has chosen to render and convey the divine word and the divine message. Okay, that is my point. And I
would like
think
to add the same point.
we may differ on this point, but I stick to my
We're
point.
gonna be back again to you.
I stick to my guns.
Okay, so.
I agree with him. That's one of the reasons that English is a language that everyone speaks, not Arabic is because even though Arabic is pronunciation wise and all the respective wise better than English, but English is the easiest language because people can skip the grammar of English and can still speak it broken or something like that. But Arabic cannot be used in the same way as universal language because it's difficult. Some people will see they will know the grammar and the qawaids of Arabic, but they still will not use in the conversation because they find it difficult to use it. They find it difficult in practice. So Arabic, I'm not saying it's very difficult. It's easy, it's learnable, it's achievable. Nothing is impossible in life. So Arabic is one of the languages that you cannot mix with the universal language. You got to leave with language that is being selected for the Quran and for the people for the Quran. This is special language. You cannot join with some other language. This is one of the reasons Arabic cannot be a part of the universal language. You can take some other word, translate it, make your own, make yourself happy. Okay, I've done this and that, but you cannot join it with another language.
Do you agree with that, Sam?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's translation or conveying a sentence from Arabic to English. I think that some scholars, Ahmed, like Eugene Naida, has spoken about the fidelity in translation. We seek how to be,
fidelity
to observe
okay.
fidelity in translation, to be honest in observing the meaning.
Okay.
Okay, and I find that it is difficult, and that is why they say we have to stick to a strategy in translation or one kind of translation which is called literal translation. Okay, for example, كان اجتماعنا هادئا سادته روح التعاون والألفة. Our meeting was quiet, dominated by a sense of cooperation.
Right.
So this is literal translation.
Right.
Yeah, this is. I'm saying that this is not impossible. This is possible, but when it comes to the Quranic language or the language of the ever-glorious Quran, I think that it abounds with so many meanings that can be rendered into any other language. But just we are making it easy. We are just we are trying to make it closer to non-native Arabic speakers. Okay.
Right.
I will add to my friend's point. The word in Arabic, Rabb, is
Rabb, right.
normally people come close to it. They don't have the actual translation. They come close to say Lord, or the Achiever, or the Complicator, or the Malik, or Khalik, but they not come close to the word Rabb.
Yes.
It can only be translated, I think, in Arabic, and I think I've seen in Urdu as well. That's the only. But other words like some other words which cannot be translated any other language except Arabic. So you must understand Arabic in order to understand that word.
That's correct, Ahmad.
Right.
The Arabic word Rabb can be found in the or the sense. I'm speaking about the sense. Yeah, although we have in the English language Lord, but the meaning of Lord in English does not equal or is not equal to the meaning in Arabic. In Arabic, Lord means the one and the only one, the creator of this universe, the organizer, the planner, the creator, okay, the cherisher, and also the provider of provision, okay. These meanings are not found in Arabic, in English, okay. The English word Lord does not have all of these meanings, okay.
Right.
So I think this is, but this is some kind of making it nearer or closer to those who do not speak Arabic.
I think that we can talk a lot about equivalence levels when it comes to in Arabic and English. I think that Khalid has a comment here.
Yeah, I want to say about these languages.
Yep.
If you take any language, you could get the same meaning. But Arabic is one language is like they say aks,
Right. Right.
Because like in Arabic, you have one is mufrad, and two is musanna, and three is jama. But any other language, you have like one is mufrad, is one, and two is plural.
Right.
So
I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, this is very interesting. We do not have, what Khalid, my colleague, is speaking here is about dual. We do not have dual. For example, when I say, we have in Arabic, walad, waladan, okay?
Right.
Or awlad. So we have mufrad, jama' musanna. In Arabic, in English, we do not have that. We have one, and we make the dual, Ahmad, or the musanna, by adding a number. We say 2 boys, which is composed of 2 words. This is not the case in Arabic.
Right.
Okay, so there differences in Arabic are great, Ahmed. Okay.
Right.
And we have a great deal of differences in the Arabic language.
Right. I think that is it's very important here to mention that you can find also a lot of features that can be found in Arabic, like what Osama said now, dual and the plural and single form, that probably can make the idea to make a kind of universal language something that could be very impossible. My dear viewers, I think that we can discuss more about that. It has been a fierce discussion among all my guests today, and I think that we can continue that after having a break. Stay tuned.
Reviewing the second rule of al-mim as-sakina. That is the letter mim. So if the first mim is non-vowel or sakina, followed by a voweled mim. So I will merge the first in the letter and I will pronounce them as one. وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ. And we spoke abundantly on the virtues of seeking refuge with Allah from the outcast Satan. Especially for the first reciter, he's got to recite it out loud.
وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
فإذا جاءت الصاخة.
وَإِذَا النُّفُوسُ زُوِّجَتْ.
Make sure it's Dhamma. وَإِذَا النُّفُوسُ. Thank you for joining us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the second part of our episode, Learn Arabic. As I said before, it has been a very fierce discussion today among all my guests for finding a kind of very universal language. And I raised just one question, and it sounds like it's very, very big question, Osama, when it comes to the notion of creating just universal rules for speaking one language among different peoples. Is it possible? I think that... Yeah.
Ahmed, actually, I think that we do have universals in language, but this these are related to spoken discourse. For example,
Right.
we here in Egypt begin a conversation when you come across a colleague or a friend.
Right.
You begin asking him about how are you, how about your family, about your relatives, and even relatives that you do not have met. Okay, never you met this one. But in America, for example, or in the United States, if you ask someone about his relatives or about his father, about his mother, it sounds strange to him.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're asking about those people you do not met. Okay.
Right. Right.
So I think.
Does that mean that it has a kind of cultural sense, Osama, when it
this
comes
is
to the
cultural sense.
language?
Yeah. I think so.
That's one of the reasons that English is a universal language, because some, as you said, if you ask the kind of question in America or England, they probably get offended. They might start thinking, oh, why is he asking about family?
Right.
But if you go to like more of cultural countries like Egypt, India, and Pakistan, asking this kind of thing, they think, all right, this is a very good person. He cares about our family. He's concerned about our lives. He's concerned about family. But it is a cultural difference, and I think that's one of the reasons that English cannot be described, in my opinion, as a cultural language, because it's also a universal language, because we all can speak. We all learn English in school. It's the only language that we learn all over the world that's been taught, because that's a universal language. And you in a way, if you want, you can make Arabic universal language, but it's difficult for everyone to speak because it's a long procedure to learn. It's not like English. You can learn it probably speaking quickly. Maybe you can do grammar afterwards.
Right.
But in Arabic, you have to go grammar and speaking as well, because you cannot. If you don't use grammar properly, probably end up saying the wrong words, and the meaning would change very long. But in English, for example, you could say, "He's gone." He's gone, or something like that. You can use grammar. But if you say he's gone, okay, I will come back, and something like that. The grammatical mistake can be, okay, passed away. You can get away with it, but in Arabic, you cannot get away with this kind of mistakes.
Exactly.
I think, Ahmad, this point is the cultural differences. Okay, the cultural differences also a very important point and a very important issue, and it makes, Ahmad, for me, it makes impossible to have rules for a universal language.
Right.
The Arabic or the English term that they say, it warmed my heart.
Oh yeah, that's right.
How we translate this
I think in Arabic the literal translation.
Yeah.
لقد أدفأت قلبي.
Yeah, but
right.
this is nonsensical.
This is right.
It has nothing to do here with the intended meaning.
Right.
As you know, in the Western world, they are suffering from high levels of temperatures.
Right.
Okay, and the weather and the conditions.
You want to say low levels of temperatures, right?
Yeah,
in
sorry,
West,
yeah,
right.
low levels of temperature.
It's a snowy weather all the time
okay.
in the West, right?
But here, vice versa in Arab world,
Right,
and that is why we translate it as Laja Sadri.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with the literal translation.
Right.
Okay, literal translation is totally a failure. It leads to a failure in translation. Okay, so we have to bear in our mind when conveying a message from language to another language, the cultural differences, which are very, very important. Even if you are translating from a passage or a text in the 19th century, okay, or in the 17th century, and you want to make a translation to it here in this time or in the contemporary time,
right?
You should have to bear also the cultural background and the atmosphere of this text in that period. It was originated by the original author. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the letter translation is a failure because sometimes you can translate the letters, but it won't make no sense. There will be no sentence, or maybe make no sense. But maybe another language will be making a sense. In Arabic, maybe something. Example, I don't know what to say, but remember it. But something will make a sense, but if you translate the same thing in English, it will not make sense. You'll probably have, few words coming up, or thinking, okay, we might turn around this here and there, make a sentence afterwards. So it's kind of a jigsaw puzzle, if you translate the word to word or letter to letter.
Yeah.
It doesn't make no sentence or sense.
Right, exactly.
You really have to shuffle it up and then make a sentence.
So I think now the bottom line here, to make a kind of universal language across the globe today, is something that could be very hard. And that the Americans say it's a pie in the sky, something like that.
A pie
It's possible.
Right.
Or concerned the station may say, pigs might fly.
Right, exactly. So I think, yes, Khalid.
Yeah, actually, in Arabic, they actually have you have fatha, kasra, and dhamma.
Exactly.
By other language, I don't think you have something like this.
I think that's another important point.
And also, in Arabic, you have male and female, like anta and anti.
Right,
If
exactly.
you change this only, you change the meaning. But in English, you don't have something like this.
Exactly.
I think
also,
in Urdu you do have fatha and kasra and dhamma, but because you don't really see people using it because it's a fluent language and just speak like some Arabic people, they do not put the fatha and kasra and like that. So you hardly see it.
Please, Muhammad, يعني, are there any functions to it as in Arabic?
Yes.
يعني فتحة and kasra has many and have many functions in the Arabic language.
Exactly, that's true.
We change the meaning.
And it's described as
yeah.
right. I think that's described as a short vowel, something like that. Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interruption. Yeah.
I'm not sure that it will change the meaning, but the reason of fatha kasra is to describe the word or describe, like, for example, in bori, the bag, bori. If you don't put the dhamma on the ba, it will make bari or something like that. It will not make sentence. The actual word will change. So you can say that is a reason for the dhamma on the ba. It's bori, it means the bag. If you say bari, it's not a word. It's just it's just a sentence.
I think that's
because the reason is the Urdu language comes from Arabic, Persian, and Asian languages. It's a mixture. It's a language that they created for war. So people don't understand it. They can speak in together in a war. It's a war kind of language. So that's the reason that Urdu brings some grammar from Arabic, some from Persian, and some from ancient languages. That's the reason you see that Urdu has some most of the letters similar to Arabic, and you do have dhamma, kasra, and fatha.
Right. I think that is probably could be very interesting because when it comes in Arabic, I think that is. I still remember actually some linguists when I was in the U.S. told me that we are very surprised that in Arabic we don't have vowels at all. And I said, well, I think that's not true. I mean, when it comes in Arabic language, we can find a lot of vowels. Probably we have a kind of implicit, or that's called tashkil, dhamma, fatha, kasra.
Or diacritics.
Right, exactly, Usama. And on the other hand, also you can find there are kind of long vowels like waw, ya, and alif we discussed, which is the first alphabet again. And generally speaking, I think that we discussed also the notion that is when it comes in differentiating between consonants and vowels, I think that's the question that everyone is asking today. Is consonant or are consonants generally more important than vowels, or vowels more important than consonants?
I think this is not the case. I think that the vowels are more important because differences arise in the pronunciation or in different dialects of English, for example. It comes out from the differences in the pronunciation of vowels. But consonants are spoken the same way whenever English is spoken. Okay.
I think I'll slightly disagree. I think you need both consonant and the noun.
Yeah,
exactly.
Both are important. You can't just leave the consonant and continue with the noun. Obviously, you're going to make a word with a noun, or you have to use the consonant as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So
this is when it comes to the pronunciation. And when it comes to pronunciation, the vowels are more important than the consonants. But when it comes to the writing, yani if you wrote to me a sentence and you dropped the vowels, I can elicit or grasp the meaning, okay,
Exactly.
by guessing
it's
on
the same with the consonant.
by guessing on the missing vowels.
Yep.
But if you missed or if you dropped the consonants from the sentence and kept the vowels, it will make no sense.
For example, in a word, if for example cat has T as a consonant, if you drop the T, C-A, that's not a word.
the cat. Yeah, but if we drop the A from cat, C-A-T.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
can
same
imagine
case.
that here there is an A which is dropped, which is omitted. So consonants are more important in writing.
in writing.
Yeah,
Right.
and vowels are more important in pronunciation, I think.
Right.
I think it could be a case because sometimes I've seen some people when they spell some words, they use different sort of nouns instead of using actual noun like orange. They put A in the front and say it's still pronounced orange because it's still a noun. You could change it around.
Right.
But in my opinion, I think you need both consonant and the noun, because if you take out the consonant out of the sentence or the word, it's difficult to pronounce or maybe difficult to write to understand what the person has written. If you write CA, what's CA?
Yeah.
It's an abbreviation of something. You want to understand what it is. If you put a consonant T, cat, okay, you understand. It's animal. So I think you need both of them. They're like
Right.
like for example in football, you need the legs and the ball to play football. So vowels and consonant is the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I like to remember actually a linguist who is very interested in Arabic language told me before that when it comes in Arabic, I think that consonants probably could be more important than vowels. And I asked him a question, why? And he told me, well, that's because he just shoot me a rule. He told me, well, if we have any difference in vowels, that means we probably can find difference in dialects. But if we have any difference in consonant, that means we can find difference in meaning.
Yeah.
Can you see that? So I think that is, but again, both of them are, I agree with Muhammad and also with Usama about a certain point, which is both of them actually are playing together in order to produce.
So they complement each other.
Exactly, Usama, exactly. I think that is...
They need each other.
That's true.
Husband-wife escape.
Right, exactly. You know, Muhammad, here, I think that Usama said a very important point, which is the notion of omission, if you like to delete in a consonant, probably that can be found in English, by the way, Usama.
Yeah,
you can
I
find
think it's the buzzwords, Ahmed. The game of buzzwords we meet every day in the newspapers.
Exactly.
Okay, or quiz.
Something like that, right. And I still remember actually a British friend who told me before that, for example, when it comes for R, when it comes in the final position, not followed by any consonant or not followed by any vowel, even if it's followed by consonant, it's not pronounced in the British accent. Like, for example, the word enter, they say enter, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see
We
that?
have no words like organization.
Right.
It's spelled with S-A, not Z-A.
Exactly.
A lot of people say zation because it's zation, pronounced as Z, but it's zation. So they want S-A. So that's the current difference you get in English.
Right. Can you see that kind of linguistic feature? That is something that is not found in Arabic at all. I mean, I never find any kind of silent consonant or vowel. I never find any kind of...
I think it's mostly found in British English, not in American English.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's only found in British English than in English.
I think also that's true, but it's found generally in English, not only the British. Also, you can find a lot of silent sounds that probably can be found.
There's a lot of spelling difference as well. For example, color and color.
Exactly.
C-O-L-O-R and C-O-L-O-U-R.
I think that we can discuss more about that in the following episodes. I'm sorry for all my guests today. Time is always running out, and I promise you to continue discussion about such points and also discover more about the Arabic alphabets. My dear viewers, I think that has been a very strong arguments among all my guests today, talking more about the linguistic issues, like, for example, the comparison between English and Arabic, and I think that we can discuss more about that. I think if you have any question, if you have any suggestion or any comment, please send me your feedback to my email, brave107 @yahoo.com. Thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for Tawwab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.